Hi everybody, sorry for the delay there as I was setting up a few things here behind the scenes. It looks like we got everything going now. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. This Saturday, kind of gloomy outside. Making sure everything's turned on here, making sure you can hear me. I'm checking volume. Cool. All right, yeah, we're good to go. There's a little bit of a delay there. So I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. You know, it is a little gloomy outside, maybe a better day to stay indoors. This morning, not too much of an issue. We do have a little bit in the way of shower activity out there, and it's going to pick up as we move into this afternoon. But if you wanted to head outside, this morning will be your better bet. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with. The allergy report showing mold is heavy, and then oak is also heavy as we get going here for our weekend. So if you're dealing with some allergies like me, those are the two culprits. Those are the ones that have been really getting us really these last few days and are going to continue to get us, I'm willing to bet, as we head throughout this next week. So just be ready for it. As far as the outdoors are concerned, there you have the cloud cover. Right now sitting at 46 in northwest San Antonio. You got 53 at the San Antonio airport, so a little bit of a temperature difference there. Lots of cloud cover in both places, and lots of cloud cover at Calaveras Lake, where we have temperatures currently sitting at 51. So I see a few questions coming in. I'm going to take a second here and answer some of them. I see a few people asking, where's the sunshine? It's coming later this week. We're going to talk about that. It's tough being stuck at home when my 3-year-old can't play outside because of the weather. Sharon, I hope we can get you some nicer weather. It is going to be nicer weather later this week. Don't worry, I'm about to give you some good news. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Justin. Orange says a nice day to stay at home. It is a nice day. Roxanne says good morning. Good morning to you as well. Ann says, is the severe stuff going to make it to Bexar County? The answer is no. The good news is we don't have anything severe. We do have some thunderstorms out there. I'm about to show you those on radar. But we don't have anything really that is too severe. We actually just had a severe warning issued. I was about to say we do have some strong storms, but that strong storm has now become a severe storm. So in a correction there, it just updated. That severe thunderstorm warning just issued down for our friends in Pleasant, or just southeast of Pleasanton, and moving up to Floresville. So I was going to mention that this storm was strong, but now they've upgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. The risk there is a quarter-size hail, and then the possibility of some damaging winds. So we'll be watching that real closely. Honestly, the possibility for damaging winds, according to the National Weather Service, is lower. It's really just for the possibility of some quarter-size hail. So this is all radar indicated. We're going to continue to watch this pretty closely. This is going to be including the area of Floresville again, into Karnes City and Pleasanton. Let me get a little bit of a query tool on this. 1 second, guys. All right, so here's where we've seen some of that larger hail. That's going to be moving, and I think it's just going to move just southeast of Floresville, kind of between Floresville and Karnes City. That's going to be, I see some people are asking they can't see the stream. You may want to try restarting Facebook, Sierra. Yes, it is going to be east of San Antonio, Jan. This will be east of San Antonio and then moving up towards Floresville. Now, the thing is, this is mainly just for the possibility of quarter-size hail. We do have some cooler air in here right now, and that can, if we got a building thunderstorm, it can cause for a hail core to form. So let me turn off lightning, show you where that main hail core is going to be. You see where that pink area is. I'm trying to find my circle tool. I'm sorry, guys, I've been off for the last week. You may have heard meteorologist Megan Massey and I got engaged. We've been together 7.5 years. So even before we got here to San Antonio together, we've actually been together 7.5 years. And we just got engaged recently. But But again, this area where we think the hail core may be, the National Weather Service has outlined it pretty well. Moving off to the northeast, and I think it's going to just maybe clip the south side of Floresville. Perez, no hail in the San Antonio area or for Leon Valley. I think this is going to stay east of you, well east and well southeast. I don't think it's even going to impact Bexar County. So again, this is going to move just south and east of Floresville. The severe thunderstorm warning will be until 10:45. This is mainly just because there could be some quarter-size hail. I don't think that winds are going to be as much of a concern other than where that hail core may be. Sometimes you can get a good pickup in wind whenever that occurs. So I'm reading up on some more information on this. Torrential rainfall is occurring within the storm. Again, localized flooding could be possible from that as well. That's also an area where we've seen a lot of heavy rainfall the past 48 hours. So more heavy rainfall over the next 24 to 48 hours could lead to some localized flooding here and there. Now, as far as the amount of rain they've seen, we're going to continue to watch that. I'll keep you all updated. But I do want to switch gears and talk more about what we're expecting later today, because there's a lot to talk about here. I'm going to keep an eye on that. There's no rotation within it, though. It's just because there could be a little bit of hail in that. So I will say this. If you know anybody that will be traveling, excuse me, I've been dealing with a little bit of allergies myself. Traveling along Highway 181, maybe in Falls City, maybe tell them to not get on the road just yet. Just because there could be a little bit of hail, we want to make sure there's no damage to any cars or property, of course. Just because it's going to be heavy rainfall as well, you may not want to drive through that. So, but we should get some showers, Ray wants to know. The answer is yes. So we've already had heavy rainfall the last 48 hours. The next 24 to 48 hours will bring more. Notice the severe to extreme drought with the drought monitor. We have seen a bit of rainfall here and there. That should help our drought conditions by just a bit, especially for our friends down towards Cotulla, Tilden, Pleasanton, into Gonzales and into Cuero. All rainfall that is much needed. It's nice to see that it is going to be occurring again for today in areas that need it, especially even over towards Gonzales, and you'll see what I mean here in just a moment. So temperatures right now in the 40s to 50s across the region. It is a little bit cooler today. It will remain cooler. Notice where the heavier rainfall is going to occur today. Here's future clouds and radar showing Floresville, Pleasanton, San Antonio, Seguin, over towards Hallettsville. Continues off to the north and east. The heavier rain continues to fall for areas east of I-35 and for areas south of San Antonio that, again, really need the rainfall. As the rain continues to move off to the north by 5:30, areas like George West, Beeville, Cotulla, Carrizo Springs will start to get drier conditions. San Antonio, Stowe could see some heavy rain at that time. And then at 9:30, excuse me, rainfall will continue with light to moderate showers moving through the region. So by 8 a.m., going to see a little bit of cloud cover, about a 20% chance for rain for our Sunday. And then as we move into the afternoon, temperatures in the 70s. And here's the great news. Going to be a mostly cloudy sky and not going to be that much rain. So it'll be a great day to be outside for our Sunday. Moving into Sunday at 10 p.m., we'll have a few spotty showers, but that's about it. And then, guys, once we make our way into Monday and into next week, we've got highs in the 80s and 90s. No kidding. It is going to get very warm. First of all, how much rain are we expecting over the next 7 days? Well, really, this is going to fall over the next 48 hours. So after the next 48 hours are done, we got dry conditions. We could expect anywhere from maybe about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch for areas west of San Antonio. I'm trying to use my draw tool here. In areas south of San Antonio. That's about 1/4 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. To maybe even 1/2 of an inch to 1.5 inches for this region. So some areas going to see a lot of heavy rain, especially closer towards Gonzales. Again, these are places that need the rainfall, the severe to extreme drought. So it's good to see the increase in rain. We could use some rain here in San Antonio. We are behind for a 20 average for this time of year. This time of year we should be at about 5.05. We're at 3.87, so we're more than an inch behind. And we're still about a half of an inch behind, a little more than that for March this year. So we could use some more rainfall. Not a lot of it in the 7-day, though. You see Saturday, Sunday, that's it. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who's saying congratulations. I see a lot of people saying congratulations. Diana, Karnes City, or Karnes County. That storm is going to be moving through your area. I'm about to bounce back to it. It's going to be southeast of Floresville and then northwest of Karnes City. I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. Notice 81 there for Monday, 88 for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Highs in the 90s. Going to be drier, mostly clear to partly cloudy. So let's go ahead and bump it back to that severe thunderstorm warning that I was talking about earlier. Again, the National Weather Service issued this for the possibility of quarter-size hail. There is no rotation from what I saw within it. I'll go ahead and pop that up again just so we can all get a good look at it. Let me switch this to the last 45 minutes only for the loop. And I'm actually going to put it out now. So, there's a look at where the hail may be in the next 30 minutes. But let's look at where it's been, because sometimes if it says where it'll be in the next 30 minutes, the model doesn't do as well, the weather model that I'm talking about. So this is where they think the hail has been over the last 2 hours. Notice the path of this. Could be going right towards Falls City, really west of Karnes City, and then continue across Highway 181. It really will be kind of closer towards Falls City, right between Falls City and Floresville. And then it will move up towards Stockdale. So Stockdale, I think this will move over you. Remember, this severe thunderstorm warning is until 10:45. The storm is moving pretty quick, so Highway 181 will be seeing a little bit of hail possible. Remember, this is possible as we head throughout these next really about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and actually put a tracker on this. Let me see the speed at which this storm is moving. Moving at 20 miles per hour to really about the north-northeast. You'll give me 1 second. I'm organizing a few things here. Still see a few people saying congratulations. Thank you again. I really do appreciate it. All right. Actually, I got to change one thing. Just bear with me, guys. I'm drawing this best I can. All right. So, here's the areas being impacted here. Oh, we got a Kosciuszko, Texas. I didn't realize that. Back where I'm from, Mississippi, we have a Kosciuszko as well. Pulaski School by about 10:59, 10:52. We could see it approaching, I believe that's DeWeese. Remember, I'm newer to Texas, so let me know. If I pronounce something wrong, y'all hold me accountable. Falls City by 10:41. That's going to be along Highway 181. You see the Stockdale area could see this by 11:41. So I mentioned Stockdale earlier. Victoria, you don't really have to worry about this storm. Victoria is going to be really east of where this storm will be traveling. You still have that chance for rain today, but this storm that I'm talking about is going to stay well west of you. So no worry about this one. You may hear a few rumbles of thunder, and you may get a little thunderstorm yourself, but not going to be this storm that I'm talking about. And our chance for severe weather today, by the way, is minimal. We're not talking about a damaging wind scenario or a tornado outbreak or anything like that. This is a severe thunderstorm warning due to the chance of being some larger hail within this. So I would not be surprised if this was the only severe thunderstorm warning that we got today. Just so you all know. We could have the possibility of some noisy thunderstorms. You do see a lot of lightning down there towards just southeast of Pleasanton, moving up towards near Floresville. Beeville has a few lightning strikes nearby, Tilden. And this will just continue to move off towards the north and east. Gonzales could barely get clipped by this storm. But there's Yvonne, there's no guarantee that it will still be a strong storm by then. You are expecting to get a good amount of rain in Gonzales today. You could have up to an inch of rainfall today in Gonzales, I'm thinking. That's where the area where we'll see the heavier rain is east of San Antonio, Seguin, Gonzales, Hallettsville. So much needed rain moving through the region as we head throughout this afternoon. That's when much of it will fall, by the way. Right now it's 10:30. We move into this afternoon, the heavier rain will really start to move in as well. And I'm going to drink some coffee real quick. Excuse me. The heavier rain will really be south and then east of San Antonio. Notice over towards Uvalde, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, not as much stuff. Just a few light showers here and there. It's also going to be cooler today. Remember, I talked about temperatures only rising to the 50s, so it's cool this morning. It'll be cool this afternoon. Enjoy it, because we do have 90s by the time we head into the middle of next week. It'll be 88 on Monday for the high. It'll be 91 for the high on Tuesday. And we're staying in the 90s really all the way to the end of next week. So we do have some hotter conditions moving in. Just be ready for it. The warmer weather really starting to move in now that we're heading into those warmer months. Sherry says, howdy from Floresville. Sherry, heads up, just southeast of you. We are tracking a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me pop this up real quick. There it is. I think just on the southeast side of Floresville, we could have some quarter-size hail possible over the next really about 15 to 20 minutes. It'll be pretty quick, and honestly, I think it'll stay outside of Floresville, but it could just clip the southeast to east side of Floresville. So just a heads up, Sherry. Be ready for that just in case. Thankfully, we don't, obviously, it's not currently the end of cotton season or anything. I used to work in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and it was the end of the season, and farmers were getting ready to cut their crops, and we had a hailstorm hit, and it hit an area that had a lot of cotton, and a lot of farmers ended up losing their crops because this big hailstorm came up and moved right over the cotton fields. And I actually saw a video recently this last season where there were severe storms coming, and you just saw them out there just trying to get all the cotton picked as much as they could before it rained, of course, because you want those fibers to be spread out. I know a little bit about farming. I don't know a ton, just because I did some agriculture reporting when I was there in Jonesboro as well. So yeah, hail can be frustrating for not just us in our homes, but for farmers as well. But this time of year, I would guess it's not as frustrating for the farmers. Thanks for the info. It is getting dark here. Let's see, what about Universal City? Kennedy looking really dark and starting. What is the hail chance for us? Brandon at Kennedy, I'm not thinking hail is going to be as big of an issue for you. But we are going to continue to see some heavy rainfall at times. We also have a lot of lightning out there as well. You see the lightning just within that storm as it's approaching the Highway 181 corridor. It's just going to be something that we're dealing with today. I bet Pleasanton's hearing a lot of rumbles of thunder. I'm willing to bet that anywhere near that storm is hearing a good amount of rumbles of thunder. And I actually want to zoom out our radar here. That gives y'all an idea of where all this rain's falling. And I'm going to put it on a loop. That way y'all can see the motion. I think San Antonio is going to get wet, of course. I think that we are going to be dealing with some thunderstorms as well, but as far as severe storms, I am not expecting that for San Antonio. I see, what about Windcrest? Windcrest could have a few rumbles of thunder. I don't expect anything severe. Same thing, by the way, with Universal City. We are going to have some heavy showers move through, probably in about 2 hours, closer towards the noon hour, toward anywhere from noon to 1 p.m. I see somebody tuning in. Macy's saying she's tuning in from the Seguin area. Thank you for the updates. No problem. Will Somerset get heavy rain? The answer is it's possible. It's not guaranteed, Virginia, but it is possible that you could see a little bit of heavy rainfall head through your area. Is this going to rain on the south side of San Antonio? Rain on the south side of San Antonio? Yes. The severe thunderstorm warning? No. This is going to stay out of Bexar County. Excuse me. Kennedy looking really dark and starting up. What is the chance of hail for us? I think I answered that one earlier. I may be going back and giving some of the same, answering questions multiple times. Your hail in Kennedy, though, is low to non-existent. So lower chance for hail down towards Kennedy, as the storm's going to stay northwest of Karnes City. So going to kind of stay out of your region. But hey, guys, you know, we need the rainfall. A lot of people are staying home right now, and a lot of people are staying inside. I accidentally hit that button twice. A lot of people are staying inside as well, and this is a great day to stay inside. You know, watch some of those movies that you've been wanting to watch, binge watch one of those TV shows you were wanting, or just find a new hobby. There's lots of things that you could do indoors today. If you wanted to get out and enjoy one of the great hiking trails in our region, if you're in Bexar County, that is, or further to the north, get it in within the next 30 minutes. You don't want to be trapped on the trail when heavy rain moves in. If you're on the north side of San Antonio, especially south side, I would just stay in. But if you can get in a little bit of a hike outside in the next 30 minutes to the next hour, that would be best. Just make sure you keep an eye on radar. And remember, the KENS 5 app has a radar so you can watch where these storms are. That way you don't get trapped. You know, oh, this is getting closer. Maybe I should head back. You can also get weather alerts on things like severe thunderstorm warnings, like what we have now. Moving off towards the north-northeast. It's moving about 20 miles per hour. The National Weather Service has trimmed it back a little bit. This includes Karnes and Wilson counties. So that's until 10:45. And again, I think this is going to be kind of between Floresville and Karnes City. Zoom in, you'll see that a city being affected, or a town being affected rather, is Falls City. This is going to really just kind of move off and impact the Highway 181 corridor, 123, Kosciuszko along 123 there, and then 119, 87 by Stockdale, maybe up towards Nixon. And that's if the hail core holds up. Let's see how it's doing. It looks like it has held up just a bit. And let me actually pull up hail itself. So basically what I'm doing back here, y'all, is I'm trying to get an idea of what the hail looks like. So this is what the storm's doing right now. This is what we believe it's doing. And somebody has turned off something. Let me see if I can get the hail size turned back on here. Somebody's turned it off. So give me 1 second, guys. But that again, that's the main thing that we're tracking about this storm is the possibility for hail. We're not really talking about wind as much. So about 0.7 of an inch large So not a too much of a concern. That can still do damage to cars. So you would want to move your car inside if you lived in Falls City, because that looks like it'll go right over it, where we're having that higher possibility for hail. I'm actually going to change the way that it describes the hail size. Sometimes it's better if people can relate it to real-life objects. So the hail size is about the size of a grape. And, almost sneezed there. Sorry, guys. I've been dealing a lot with allergies myself. I am not immune to allergies myself. So that's going to be really close to Falls City, moving across Highway 181. You know anybody between Floresville and Karnes City that's going to be traveling through that area? Tell them to go ahead and just stay in. It's best not to be trying to drive whenever you have a severe thunderstorm warning. You don't want to do any damage to your car if you end up coming across that hail core. So we're seeing a little bit of lightning activity north of Beeville. Nothing to be concerned about there. Again, if I turn lightning off, you will see that we're not seeing much of those hot pinks, which is where we have the stronger updrafts, where we have that possibility of hail. The only spot you're seeing that is right there, moving through Karnes and Wilson counties. And Deborah says, thanks for the update. No problem, Deborah. Again, we are expecting heavy rain as we head throughout today. I'm going to continue to track this here at the station, watching everything real close. We're going to have a lot of wet roadways, really a better day to stay inside, and just kind of try to relax a little bit. That severe thunderstorm warning again until 10:45. So it's still got about 4 more minutes on it. I don't know if the National Weather Service is going to stay on with this warning. I don't know if they're going to continue it. I'm kind of watching it closely myself. It's kind of right on the edge on whether they'll continue it or not, I would say. Because sometimes they'll let one cancel if it, or end if it doesn't look as big, where the hail looks like it shrunk a little bit. But it's a hard call here. This is where they decided to issue the warning. Let me try to back this up. Give me 1 second. So that's where they decided to issue it. You see where you see some of those light blues? That's where we would have had hail the size of a walnut. So a little bit larger. And again, you'll notice as I cycle it through, we could have had some larger hail east of Campbellton. And if I continue it through, you'll notice that it even gets bigger, possibly, if I can highlight right in that dark blue. Sometimes it's hard to get it. Golf ball. There you have it. East of Campbellton, kind of northeast of it, that would definitely be the level of the size of hail that you would need to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's why that severe thunderstorm warning was issued. But you see that hail core has shrunk, and now we just have the size of a grape. So picture the size of a grape compared to a golf ball. But a grape is a little bit smaller, and we'll see if they end up canceling, or not necessarily canceling, but letting this severe thunderstorm warning expire at 10:45. But of course, I'm going to stay on with y'all and keep y'all updated through it, just in case something else happens. We want to always make sure that y'all stay safe and informed. That is why I am here. And that's why I'm going to remain here until the severe thunderstorm warning is done. And I'm happy to answer y'all's questions while I continue to watch this. Bexar County, tons of rain today. That's what Marissa wants to know. Marissa, the answer is yes. We are expecting a lot of rain. It's about to start moving into Bexar County right now. A majority of the rain will be east of I-35. Now, I think everybody in Bexar County is going to see rain today. But a majority of the heavier rain, a majority of the rain that actually collects on the ground, is going to be east of I-35. As you head further east towards Seguin, Gonzales, that amount of rainfall is just going to go up. That's where we expect that even higher amount of rain. Edna says, my garden is happy with the rain. Edna, your garden, and I guarantee you, everybody down towards Cotulla and Tilden, especially the farmers, they are ecstatic with the rain, as long as it's not too much to muddy up the fields too much. They needed the rain, our friends to the south, just because we have that severe to extreme drought in their region. Scott, the answer is yes. Kosciuszko could see a little bit of hail. Let me zoom in to show you where you are. Notice you're just outside of the severe thunderstorm warning, but I will tell you that spot, exactly where we're seeing the hail. Scott, I'm going to zoom down here just to show you exactly where we're seeing it. Give me 1 second. I've got to turn some stuff off and turn some other things on. So that's where we're thinking the hail is. You notice at the bottom of the screen where you're seeing that gray, that little whitish grayish blob, that's where we're thinking the hail is. That's where we have some of the stronger updrafts. And that is moving off to the northeast. So moving kind of right towards Kosciuszko. Now I will say, the hail size that caused them to issue the severe thunderstorm warning was really kind of closer to they were thinking a quarter. Our hail tracker was indicating it could have been up to golf ball size at one time, but that doesn't mean golf ball size was falling. That just means what the radar thinks it saw, and that's high up in the cloud. As it falls, it melts a little bit. So Kosciuszko could see a little bit of hail. I don't think it'll be that large, but if you wanted to move your cars inside, I would suggest going ahead and doing that. And as I mentioned earlier, remember what I told y'all? I said that I think the hail has shrunk a bit, and I could see them just letting this severe thunderstorm warning expire. They have. So Kosciuszko, again, you could see a little bit of hail, damaging hail, not expected or not likely there, Scott. But if you wanted to move your cars just because that smaller hail is possible, you can still go ahead and do that. You are going to get a very noisy thunderstorm. We have a lot of lightning within it and a lot of heavy rain, and that will be moving over Kosciuszko really here within probably the next 15 minutes. I would maybe even the next, I would give you a timeline of between 10 to 20 minutes. That'll start arriving. Any outside work have to have rain boots, I guess. Yep, Marissa, that's pretty much what it is. We do have another area that, let me go ahead and turn off lightning real quick so I can get a better view of the storms. We do have another area southwest of Campbellton where we may have a little bit of an updraft, a stronger updraft trying to form. Let me actually switch my radar here. Give me 1 second, guys. So that gives us a little bit of a better view of what the storms are. This is just a way that we can get a better view of the storm. So we're seeing the radar in a different way. To explain to you why I switched the radar, this gives me a cleaner look of a thunderstorm rather than the previous radar look that you saw. This is really something that makes it easier for me to try to describe it in another way. You notice the edges of the storms. This is because we're taking in one radar site instead of multiple radar sites and kind of blending them together to get an idea of what the storm's looking like. This is coming from one radar site, and it's a cleaner look to see for the meteorologist. So give me just 1 second here, guys. I'm setting up a few things. There's things that we always do behind the scenes that I'm happy to share with y'all while we do these Facebook Lives. And if you want to learn anything, I mean, I'm happy to talk to y'all about it. Feel free to ask any of those questions that you feel like you may want to ask. So again, I think that it's going to be just east of Floresville, that area where we may be seeing a little bit of hail. Pleasanton just saw a heavy shower. Floresville's about to see a lot of heavy rain. Let me pop lightning back on. You're probably hearing a lot of thunder. You may have a few lightning strikes in Floresville, so stay inside. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. Anything in San Antonio? Jennifer, the answer is may have some heavy rain here and there. May hear a rumble of thunder or two, but the heavier stuff stays east of Bexar County as we head throughout today. I actually saw a question about Livonia, I think, a while back. The answer is maybe just on the edge of Livonia. You could have some really heavy rain, but I think the heaviest stuff will be really closer to Seguin and headed off towards Gonzales. I'm over here in between I-10 and Fredericksburg. Looks like we're getting the tail end of it. That's Fredericksburg Road. Okay. Yeah, you could see some heavy rain there at I-10 and Fredericksburg. But as far as lightning is concerned, I think these are actually going to build up a bit. I think we will see a little bit of lightning where you see some of these yellows and oranges and reds. These are building up as they move off to the north-northeast. And we could have a little bit of lightning, and I think we are going to see more heavy rain than what it's trying to show. But anything severe, I'm not really expecting that. Let me loop this through, and you'll see them build up. See them kind of growing as this moves off to the north? That's going to continue here over these next couple of hours. Just got pounded in Charlotte, James said. Yeah, heavy rain off that way. I mean, it's going to be really heavy rainfall too. So isolated flooding could be an issue. You may come across some ponding on the roadway. Drive carefully if you have to be out. Just take it easy on those roads today because there will be times of really heavy rainfall. But guys, I'm actually about to go ahead and head off of here. I want to show you the 7-day forecast after I run through future clouds and radar real quick because I want to show you this again just so you have the latest look. Notice by 1 p.m., San Antonio seeing heavy rain. Could have heavy rain as early as noon. You see it in Hallettsville, Gonzales, Seguin. Notice east of San Antonio. That's where the heaviest rain will be today. I've mentioned that multiple times. That's where we really feel like the heaviest rain will be. Not saying Hondo, Bernie, Kerrville, Pearsall won't get heavy rain. You're going to see heavy rain too, but the heaviest will be east of San Antonio. By the time we get to 9:30 p.m., lingering showers, temperatures in the 50s. We drop only to the 50s tonight. A few light showers for Sunday morning. And then we move into the afternoon on Sunday. Our rain chance is slim. Temperatures rise to the 70s, mostly cloudy sky. And it's actually going to be a nice day by the time we head into Monday. Going to expect a lot more in the way of sunshine after these next 48 hours. So over the next 48 hours, here's what we have for the rainfall. Most of the rain falling again towards Gonzales, Hallettsville, Seguin, maybe an inch and a half those ways. Cotulla, Tilden, Eagle Pass, Del Rio, Rock Springs, maybe closer to a quarter of an inch. Your 7-day forecast, I'm going to go ahead and bounce that ahead, showing that we'll have drier weather Monday all the way through Friday and highs in the 80s and 90s, lows in the 60s, going to be a lot warmer than what we have today. James says, working in oil field, main concern is flooding and mud. Yeah, James, it is going to be pretty muddy there. The good news is you're going to have some drier weather, though, from Monday through Friday. Let things kind of dry out, especially with the warm conditions, temperatures in the 90s. Going to really kind of help things dry out into that sunshine. So, guys, going to go ahead and head off here. I'm going to leave y'all with a look at the radar. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. No severe thunderstorm warnings as of 10:50. And if anything does happen, I'll be here and I'll keep you all updated throughout the day. Have a great one.